Hi, Virgo. Happy birthday, Virgo. Anyone new to Opal Oracle, welcome. And anyone returning, hi. Hi there. Welcome back. All right, Virgo. So it's your birthday. Let's pray for a second. Take a big breath in, okay? Let it out. You know, if you need to, there's this really cool, when you're irritated inside, you can do snake breathing, or at least that's what I call it, where you do like you do a big breath in and then and do it as long as you can, okay? The exhale. I know you don't like being told what to do, but it'll be good for you. When I split the deck earlier, this came out. This is your inner child, the Hanged Man. Very interesting, very patient, well-behaved child. That's good. When I split the deck, also literally when I split it, it was this and this. Fascinating. Okay. Wow, Virgo. Oh, I missed it. You're hilarious, you know that? I always think you're so funny. Okay. So you have these absolutely stunning, positive, loving cards. You have 4 cups and 2 major arcana. You want to see, but you have the 5 of wands on the bottom. Hold on a second. Can you see them? I'm also going to use these little oracle cards that I just made. I'm just fooling around, having fun. They're not perfect though, so don't judge me, okay? It's just a prototype. I know you love your perfection. Which is good, you know? All right, inner child. Awesome. Present self. Future. Ego. Strength. Oh, good. And your future. Awesome. Okay, so. See, that's very interesting. So the bottom of the tarot, like I said, was the 5 of wands. Well, on the bottom of these little oracle cards, you receive fun, 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 fun. Because in a way, this is kind of child's play, right? So you can either turn it into a really big, serious situation that's complicated and unproductive, egotistical even, right? Like, who's the winner in this? No one. No one's the winner. They're not really playing a game that has an outcome that anybody really wants. But considering we're talking about playing games, you know, again, turn the game into something more fun. Okay, that's an option. That's an option, and I see that's a wonderful way for you to it's almost something about purifying your patience in a way of actually like purifying patience. It's very interesting. I guess you'll have to sit on those 2 words. Let me see what's going on here. You have a conflictual inner child during this time. It's like in one way, you're being so patient with things, okay? For those of you who watched the 2018 reading, the whole motto of Virgo as the collective was analyze, digest, organize, accept, and move on, okay? I feel like, okay, so you have speak your mind with the Hanged Man, okay? So it's showing me something like, you know there's something you have to wait for, right? You're aware of it. Consciously, this adult being, your inner child's even aware, like, okay, I gotta wait a second, right? Dinner's not ready, the rice isn't going to just be ready because I want it, right? So I'm kind of seeing speak your mind as a way of how can you express yourself creatively well, I also heard what puts a smile on your face. It's just so important. Maybe the thing that you need that would be easy to smile at is to laugh at yourself. You know, because then at least no one else is laughing at you, right? Or you feel like that. It's almost like you don't mind if I heard something about if it's, I'd rather break it if it's my thing than have someone else break it, right? Like there's a, interesting, I'd rather break it than someone else break it. Well, that's kind of a sideways abandonment mentality, right? Like I'm going to destroy something before it can destroy me. Right? That's a very Venus and Virgo thing to do too. For those of you who have it, but even still, all the same. Because you have the eyeball with I like these a lot, actually, they're fun. This eyeball with the Lover's card. Now, obviously all of these little oracles can mean anything, but I'm seeing this right now where you're seeing the situation for, I heard what it is. Situations for what they are. But in a way, there's two different elements that are looking at it in a different way, okay? And it's a little bit exhausting. And we actually talked about this, right? Like when Mercury's in retrograde, maybe you get, some of you actually did say that you got headaches, because I picked one up. So I guess in that way, you have no pentacles here either. So it's kind of like there is a need for you to take care of your body, okay, accordingly. Like if you're having headaches, you know, you could be dehydrated, or maybe you have some sort of excess of something. Obviously, for any of you who drink, no, that's, would you water your house plants with beer or wine or liquor, I heard, or whatever it is that you put in your body, I guess, if you thought about it in that way, something about that, switching the, that's a deep, a deeper way to sort of analyze what it is that's going on, particularly within the physical world, because it's so emotional here. But I'm still talking about it like all this information that I just gave. It's 10 minutes in, right? Granted, I'm going in order, if you will, because you like that. But although the cups were more, I didn't focus in on them. You know what I mean? Which actually shows that you understand that there's decisions to be made and there's multiple ways to go about them. I see that it's very, very, you have, well, there's great strength in prayer, right? Great opportunity that can come from prayer. I see that you can pray for the emotional strength to be able to speak your mind too, if you need that in some sort of way. You know? Because we're all afraid of something. I see that in the future you're going to have an outpouring of energy, okay? Like almost as if someone opened the valve, you know? But there's something about it that makes it kind of murky. Maybe a little bit of distrust because of things that have happened in the past. It's interesting, there's so many cups here, but I feel like most of you don't, I'm not feeling like in the lovers is here and all that, but I'm not really feeling like a love vibe. Oh, I see. It's because someone hasn't, someone hasn't made a decision ultimately yet because they're not allowed to yet, in a way. Because I think you've been saying something, whether that's to someone or whatever, to yourself. You've been saying it, and I feel like you're saying it, and you're saying it. You feel like you've said it all. And now you're kind of just like, well, I said what I said. I'm not going to repeat myself. Because something, in a way, isn't moving forward. She eats flies. Yeah, something isn't moving. Like it was already moving, something was already moving really slowly, and now it just feels like it's not going anywhere. Like in the future, I feel like that's what you're gonna feel like. Like it's a snail, I heard a snail's pace. Let me see. But I don't need to see anything. It's like someone needs to wake up. Someone needs to wake up. Now, maybe you can help figure this out because this is your reading. So in your ego position, which is usually like something within there that's interfering, I guess they say it can help, but I've never really experienced that. But you receive this yes card and then the Six of Cups. I guess you got to ask yourself if there's anything that you want I guess you got to ask yourself why it is that you want what you want. Why is it really? I see that it's really good to pray for guidance about that because there's something I heard within the genuine sacredness of sorry. All the other words sort of just disappeared. Like once I hit sacredness, it just, there wasn't any other words to describe it. I guess in a way you have to kind of look back at your exes too. Yeah. And just kind of see, like do some checks and balances, okay? See what the differences are. And now after some time has distance since it was first in your life, how, Jesus. Sorry. Well, how does it look now? You know, and I still feel like there's something about masks. There's something about there's something you don't trust about who's looking at what. There's just such an, I just keep seeing this like unknowing. That full moon was in Pisces. It's actually in a day or so, maybe a couple days from now. So and I may actually post this before then because it's your birthday and I have some time. Because I feel like you need to hear this message specifically because there's so much water. Your opposite sign is Pisces, is water. It's the whole ocean. It's important to check in. Because I actually see you functioning within like individually, these cards, and collectively, everything is extremely positive on the surface. And the undercurrent of that is actually pretty interesting. You also have roots on the Nine of Cups, which is really good. you know? You're stabilizing your emotional understanding, okay? Your own emotional satisfaction and being like, yeah, I did all that. What did we say in that reading? So what? So fucking what? So what that you have a hard Saturn placement? So what that that person didn't treat you like they were supposed to treat you? You know? So what that job fell through? So what you had to move in winter? So what you don't have that friend anymore? You know? And when I was saying that, there's a bunch of tightness in my chest, so I know there's things that your heart is still attached to that has to do with your ego and being like, no, but yes, that's my feeling, and I don't want to let that go. All those things from the past, yes, those are mine. That's my past. It's like a kind of proprietorship. It's kind of labeling to also what? Keep you stuck so that you can do that abandonment mentality, right? Or like sabotaging, self-sabotaging mentality so that you don't actually, in a way, kind of get what it is that you're asking for so that you can kind of be like, fulfill the role of the pessimist, you know? But you don't have to do all that shit, dude. That's, no, not at all. You don't have to do that. Your inner child is telling you to speak your mind. Say what it is that's really going on. Say what it is that you really feel. Say what it is that you have so many feelings right now. What is it that you feel? What are you having all these big feelings about? Because it's a big deal. And if you don't feel like you're having any big feelings, well, it's interesting. Even the whole reading, like in a way, like pulls from the, not necessarily the negative, because there's no good, bad, whatever. I mean, maybe get a little bit lazy in kind of the end of the month when it comes to, well, I see you being a little bit tired, okay? Queen of Cups likes to sleep too. She's a dreamer, you know. It's all very watery here. Pisces also, I feel like, likes to nap. Or at very least rest, okay? Rest is important because you don't have any wands here and you don't have any earth. So you're not really, the stabilization of energy is not, you know, I don't know where the source is coming from, you know? So it shows me that you may not either. I think because your sign is ruled, the house represents health, and we mentioned this. I don't know if I mentioned it last month or the previous reading. The world came out twice on the bottom too. Interesting. So it's like your house rules health. And again, if I'm repeating myself, excuse me. But I feel like with you as a collective absorbing health, right? Whether your sun, moon, again, Venus, Mars, it doesn't matter. But obviously, I would say that they're all major planets, whatever. The point is that collectively within whatever planet is in Virgo for you, or Virgo's house, it's affected by the collective, okay? And there's a lot of dis-ease or disease, if you will, in the population of humans. You know, whether that's psychological health, physical health, mental health, spiritual health, I feel like the majority of people, sadly, are on a lower frequency with that. And so you absorb that energy in a way. So I sense that it's important for you to maybe have some sort of, I always connect Scorpio to you. Scorpio is important for everyone. I mean, they rule everything where things grow, you know, it's important. But maybe some sort of gemstone to kind of protect yourself. Like, I don't know if I mean, black tourmaline's kind of a psychic energy or whatever, psychological, but I feel like there's something having to do with that would be really important, okay? Yeah, that'll help your energy. There's something, I also see that you can pray for more energy too if you need it, right? You need some oomph to get something done, yeah, then ask for it. You know, this page has so much energy. They'll do anything, you know, because they don't even understand time yet. They're just like, oh, I have the opportunity to do this, well then, so I shall, right? Yeah, and look at that, page to the Queen. You know, you want to excel in your business, you want to excel in your money, you want to excel in your self-worth, then ask for it and be willing to put in the work, okay? Yeah, that's very interesting. Page to the Queen with the Ace of Wands. That's powerful. That's powerful energy there. You want to create it, and so it shall. Look at that. On the Nine of Cups, well, there's Temperance, which is the alchemist. She can do anything. Upright means anything's possible. With the Roots means that you're understanding, or coming to understand anyway, your ability to be more in charge of how you feel, how you speak your mind when you feel. Okay? Yeah. Because you kind of have an opportunity right now, because the inner child doesn't stay always, right? They're doing their own thing. But I see, again, speak your mind with the Hangman, and your inner child also is saying, say what it is that you need to say. Don't be afraid of anything, right? Like sort of childlike mentality, just like, I'm saying what I'm going to say. I'm not going to say it like a jerk, right? There was no jerky cards here. It's just like, I'm just going to say it. Because I've done enough thinking to know what I'm talking about. Okay? So if you are going to speak your mind, I see this important for you to speak with compassion. Okay? Honesty, yes, please. Honesty all day. Okay? Don't be too sharp in your tongue, but you're allowed to say how you feel. Okay? Because if at least at this time, you're in a position of being able to do it, because, let me see. Yeah, you can kind of close out this card if you want to, Virgo. Okay? And it has to do with your ego thinking that you deserve this shit. You don't deserve that. What did I tell you? You don't need to lie to yourself about your depression or your the low energy that you have wherever you go, when you go where you go, right? Because we all go there. Remember that. That's real life, right? You scared of something? Well, say it. Be honest with people. You know, you need something? Well, you got to ask for it. I see, don't take any less than you deserve. I see that you can't save anybody, Virgo. Okay? It doesn't matter what you say. You can't save anybody else, but you can save yourself. I know you love to be of service, right? But how are you of service to yourself? This is the first pentacle. Well, we had the page and the queen, yes. But this is the technical first pip to come out. If you want a relationship and you don't have this, and this is kind of expressing like, okay, well, this is what I want in my life, right? Like overall. But I see particularly you're expressing yourself like, I need this emotionally. I want this emotionally. And see, how long has it been now? 31 minutes. And now we're getting into being able to express it after all that. Okay? So it shows me that what it is a lot of that. It's a half an hour. There's a half an hour repression in your heart space in relation to how you actually feel, because if you dug down, then it would look like this. Because for whatever reason, your ego blocks you from thinking that you can just change that whenever you want. Remove that, delete that, block that, or at very least incorporate it into yourself so that you know, like, as a person that's of service, right? Well, then you can help people when you actually understand how to control yours better, right? Or at very least think about it in a more comprehensive way, okay? Of course, I do also see in a way that someone else, I mean, these readings are all about you, but I do specifically kind of see an energy of someone else that's dealing with shadow, okay? So just be aware of that. It's a lot, maybe it goes back to, the reason why you don't trust folks sometimes is because of the things that happened in the past, but those are there to teach you so that you don't repeat the same mistake and end up in this circumstance again, right? You're learning. You're not willing to just go somewhere just because, okay, you get the Ace of Cups. Well, what is it? I heard, what is it that you're bringing me? Of course, you have to ask the other way around. But it really all starts with you. Because I see that you're contented with yourself, in a way. What's that song? Love Can Save the Swans. It's pretty heavy band if you don't know it, but the kind of rock and roll, I guess, electric music. But love can save you, but it won't save me. Because sometimes people fall into that trap, right? They're like, oh, I'm here. Oh, I better go fix it with some sort of relationship or some sort of energy that's outside of me, right? Something fulfilling. For some of you, it's just like, where do you find that emotional fulfillment in a positive way? Because I think in a way you're sort of emotionally contented with a little bit. Like the undercurrent of it is you being contented with and emotionally satisfied in a way with things that I guess I kind of sense it in the past. It is moving along with you, though. It hasn't completely separated, or these wouldn't be here. And honestly, these are big cards. These are sabotager cards. You know what I mean? Because there's a difference between sabotaging and just speaking your mind and being like, you know, instead of doing all these little tiny bad actions, or maybe you're dealing with someone like that, right? They do all these little things that are not acceptable, and it makes you be so Gemini about it, right? Like one way or the other, one way or the other. I feel like this is very Gemini too. But, you know, it's like, which way am I supposed to look at it? Whose opinion am I taking right now? Like, what is going on? There's just a huge question to what is going on. And who is it benefiting, I heard. And then I heard who gives a shit. You know? It's interesting. We've taken so many ways. Let's clean this up a little, and I want to pick. I'm gonna do 3 oracles out of this new deck. They're interesting. I just like unconsciously painted. You know, I didn't really think about it. I was just kind of like, you know, here's the energy coming out of my body onto the paper. Okay. Virgo. Okay. So you received the Golden Purifier. You got fun, 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 fun again. And speak your mind. Okay. You still, let me see. I guess what it is, when I was talking about earlier, like purifying your patience, there was something about it where it was kind of like taking the, because what is patience but seriousness, right? If a child is super patient, you're like, wow, it's like an 80-year-old, you know, or whatever, like, but this and this to me show you know, because I guess you can speak your mind again with your actions. Now if your life is like fun, 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 you know, then I see that that's so purifying to you. It's so purifying to your mind to have fun, to smile more, to laugh about shit, to dance. Laugh at yourself though, really. It's a great place to start. You know, like when you do something and you're like, and you actually hear the sound of your voice and you're like, oh, sorry, you know, or whatever. Because that's how we really learn, right? I could tell you a million things from a million ways from Sunday, right? But it really all begins with you doing you know? Again, I see it's really important to pray, okay? Look, that just flipped over like a feather. It's It's really important to pray. Okay? God, whatever you want to talk to your friends, you know, you want to talk to people that you love, people that you care about, well, talk to them. You can also talk to them through prayer if they're not around anymore. Okay? Ancestors, whatever, your friends, they're all there. You know, if you want them to be, you can remember them in a good, you know, there's two choices in life. Which three do you want? Which way do you want to speak your mind? It's your choice. I see you'll be working on this till about December. Like fine-tuning all these sorts of things. Of course, there will be other things, but that's a part of it. Okay? Yeah, about 2 months or so. Okay. Well, I love you so much. Happy birthday. I hope you liked this reading. I hope it was of help, of service to you. Love ya. Peace.